we are now in the factory, so you can explain to us the differences of the glass fiber, carbon and
paper also. So as I've told you, we at Davis Acoustic we have started with the production of mainly Kevlar for the mid-range drivers. We like the sound. It permits to have something very clear. We have a special kind of Kevlar. All the speaker manufacturer who has developed Kevlar cones drivers have a different kind of yes. So you can see this one. It's our. Also, what's important is the curve of the cone, which is very special. A special design of cone, which is an exponential curve when you see the cut of the cone. So we have built in the past many different kinds. We have made a lot of tests, and this one is Kevlar Velvet that we have developed for a Goldmund brand of speakers. They have for Epilogue model a lot of drivers with such a cone. It's Kevlar. You can touch it. It is like a velvet a little bit. We have broken the fibers on the surface. We had to rigidify the back of the cone, and then we have a very special, very natural sound also with those drivers. But the technology was very, very costly, so we have forgotten this technology for our speakers. And also, we also like the sound of our own Kevlar cone. The Kevlar is yellow, and this is our
trademark.
Our color. This is the identity of Davis Acoustic.
And that's also the basic color. It's not colored yellow, but the material itself is.
Yes, the material itself is yellow. So I came here, and we have different kinds of cones. We have also the paper cone that we keep on producing, because cone in paper is very light, so it permits to reach high sensitivity drivers.
But the pistonic of this woofer is, I think, a little bit less compared to glass fiber.
It's a choice. It's a choice. With a paper cone, you're going to have a very sensitive driver. You have also a little sound of paper. The coloration is not so bad. Some people like it very much. We usually add a coating on the surface of the cone with a graphite to make this coloration disappear and to keep the very light weight of the cone.
Okay.
So I also wanted to show you the carbon fiber cone. This is something, if you touch like that, you will see that it's much stronger than the Kevlar. The carbon cone, we like to use it for the woofer, for the low frequency response, because you have less deformation with a carbon cone.
Davis is also famous about their bullet tweeters. Can you explain a little bit the difference about a common tweeter and the advantage of a bullet tweeter? And from which materials are they made?
Okay, so my father, who has created Davis Acoustic, he was the engineer at SIAR, a big company in the 70s and 80s in France. He had developed a tweeter, which is, the name was TWZ, which is still famous for old guys. This tweeter has the particularity to have not a traditional dome, but a cone, like the cone of the mid-range, for example. The big advantage is that you have a big surface that is moving, which is deforming more than moving. And so you have a much more energy in the high frequencies. So at Davis we have decided to continue that production of tweeter, which is now a little bit different, with a new frame, with new magnets, etc., etc. And we keep on adding a bullet at the middle that we screw and glue at the middle. And the tweeter has a very different sound in comparison with the traditional dome tweeter. We have developed a family of tweeters like that. Some tweeters with fiberglass cone, with also Kevlar cones. We have made it also in paper, and we have made also another kind of diameter of voice coil. This one is 20 millimeters, and the one that we have on the wall, for example, is this one with a 25 millimeter diameter voice coil. Okay. So it has a lot of energy, and we like the sound because it makes the song more realistic to my mind.
Well, when I listen to, for instance, to the stage we have in our possession, then it's very open, and you have a very big stage, and yeah, it's what you say. It's natural.
It's natural. You have the feeling of something very free. Yeah. Free music.
Is it also that it is not enclosed into the in a box?
So behind the cone, it's a closed area, but we have added foam to reduce the wave back of the air. But you don't have a lot of moving of the cone. The cone is just deforming.
And what is this material made of?
Oh, this is aluminium. This is quite a heavy bullet.
And so, what is the advantage to use the bullet?
The bullets permit to reach more precision and to increase a little bit the frequencies for the high level, for the high frequencies. After 10 kilohertz, for example, we reach a little bit more level of frequencies.
Okay, and it gives also less distortion. Is that what it also does?
Yes, exactly. We have also a special kind of surround all around, which is a mix of it's a plastic and a paper.
So, can you tell us what we are doing here?
Yes, here we are going to control, to test the driver that we produce in the company. So we have a sweeper, an audio sweeper, and we connect each driver to the audio sweeper, and we can, with the button, change the frequency response.
So, and what is the range of this woofer?
This is the woofer of the stage. This is a 10-inch driver with the big alnico magnet, so a special kind of magnet. So this is a very technical drive unit. It has a quite good efficiency, and this is a Kevlar cone, as we have seen before, but a black cone. So you are here in the high frequencies, but if we decrease the frequencies, you can listen to the mid-range, and then the bass. And I can increase the volume, and so you can see the deformation, the movement of the cone at around 24 Hertz. You can see that there is no special sound, so for me the driver is good, but we are going to control it at the laboratory, and we will see the curve, so the impedance curve and the sensitivity curve inside the box. So you can see here we are producing some Courbet 5 speakers. So on the Courbet 5, this is the mid-range that we are going to install. Arnaud has just make the soldering. So there is a code of color because the driver has a plus and a minus at the connector. And so you can see the small carbon fibers woofers here and the mid-range, so it's in Kevlar.
So Kevlar is more suitable for the mid-range?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. It gives a lot of details, and carbon is more suitable for the bases because they are lower deformation.
And these woofers are in line, so they have a bigger surface, or?
Yes, so the two woofers are connected together at the same part of the crossover, so we call it in parallel.
Yeah.
So it permits to the two drivers to work exactly at the same time, and so while using two drivers, you divide by two the impedance of the speaker, so it permits to have more power in the bass and also more emissive surface. So there is a little bit more than one bigger woofer.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a Courbet 5, but we also have on the same table the model Courbet 3. Courbet 3 is the bookshelf of the range. You can see that we produce here at Davis in France our own crossover boards. So we glue all the components on a wooden board, and there is no PCB at all. So all the the components are soldered together. So you have less loss between the components. So this is going to be inside the box, and so you have the cables for the woofers and for the tweeter.
This is for the Courbet 8?
For the Courbet 8,
Yeah.
yes, we use some very special components for the Courbet 8. The inductance are made in France at RAIH company. This is coils on air.
Okay.
Without ferrite at the middle.
Okay.
And there are two big components for the capacitors. It comes from Germany, both.
So, but what is the advantage to use air?
So there is less distortion.
Okay.
This is very important. When you push the volume, sometimes you can listen to a problem on the drivers, but with such air inductance, you don't have.
But another question, you know, there's a lot of talk about these type of parts, and you see also quite often companies who build very expensive loudspeakers, but they don't use these high quality products. Why did you choose for that? Do you think there's
we have listened to all the different possibilities, and to our mind, it's a good idea to use such a combination. But you can see also for components which are located on the crossover in parallel, you have less importance on the quality. So the really good capacitors are on series to the drivers.
Okay.
And for me, it's really important. It's really important, especially if you want to push the power. You have no limit, nearly no limit. So
Okay.
this is important. What you cannot see, even with your very good camera, Martin, is that for Courbet 8, we use some silver soldering. It is 3 or 4% of silver only, but the difference
it's audible?
Yes, you can really listen to the difference when you use a silver soldering.
Okay. Well, it looks beautiful, and the topography is also very directly, yeah? So
Yes, there are not so much components for a three-way speaker, so I like sometimes when the sound must be free. You don't have to make so many to use so many components. The signal must stay quite easy to understand.
yeah, so what I understand is keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Oliver, you told me yesterday, because we are already a day here,
Yes.
about you make your own magnets. Can you tell us why?
Because it permits to make a different kind of combination. The motor of the driver, so is this part, and on this part you can decide of what magnet you're going to use, what is the T-yoke that you will use at the back, and the washer. So you can decide to have a different thickness, different quality of magnet, and it makes the sound different from one to another.
Okay.
So at Davis we are free to do whatever we want.
That gives you a lot of freedom for your designs.
Exactly. So we can produce easily really all kind of magnets for all kind of drivers, from 37 millimeters of diameter to smaller or bigger or
Right.
whatever we want. So it's a big advantages to be able to do what we
Because
want.
I see a complete line, but there are also different type of magnets. Can you explain a little bit of the differences and the use of the magnets?
Yes, so for example, for the simple drivers, we use a simple ferrite magnet that is not so expensive, but it works very well. But for the high-end models, we normally use Alnico magnet, as I've told you.
Yep.
We have some samples here of magnet which are stronger. So the material is not ferrite, but it's ticonal. It's a mix of titanium, cobalt, nickel, and aluminum. It makes the magnetic field, which is here, much stronger. And so you can reach higher sensitivity for those drivers. In that case also, as we can see here, we have decided to put a copper ring.
Yep.
The copper ring permits to have a very linear impedance on the drivers, so it reduces the quantity of components in the crossover, because the curve of impedance is already very smooth.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny, I will tell the people who watch this, the plaster is not for show, it has a real, can you tell a little bit?
Yes, everywhere in your house or here in a factory, in a factory like at Davis, you have in the atmosphere some particles of metal, dust, metallic dust
Flowing
everywhere, flowing around. And to avoid the dust to go inside the driver, we prefer to protect
So
the
very
gap.
simple solution.
It's a very clever solution.
Yeah. And we see a lot of components there. You produce also for other companies?
Yes, we produce some drivers. This one is for Avant-Garde Acoustic. I think it's the model Uno. They send their own chassis, their own basket in aluminum, and so we put the ferrite, all the magnets behind. They also ask for a special neodymium magnet at the middle to improve the efficiency of their driver. So this is made at Davis. This is to cut not the tweeter, but the mid-range, to avoid the mid-range to have too low frequencies. So it is no more 3 or 4 microfarad that you need, but 50 or 100.
So you can calculate if you have the information of the tweeter and you have the information of the woofer and the mid-range, you can calculate which
which value you
have
need
to use.
if you want to cut at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
And the certain frequency, you know it, or when you produce the driver, you see what frequency you cannot go after, because you can listen to distortion or the sound won't be so great. So
it's a little bit before you make your loudspeaker, you have to trial by error.
yes.
So that's how it works.
Yes, also if you have a 4 ohm or 8 ohm driver, the value will be half or double,
Yeah.
depending on that. So for example, if you have a woofer of 4 ohms, you need a half value of inductance to cut at the same point than the 8 ohm driver.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good to have a woofer, 4 ohms woofer.
Yeah?
The bass arrives quicker. Okay. You have impressive. What's the problem that we have on the market is that some companies decide to make speakers with many woofers. 2 very often, like Davis, sometimes 3. And if you put 3 times in parallel woofers, you divide by 3 the impedance. So you start at 8, but 3 drivers in parallel, it's 2.7 ohms, for example, something like that. And amplifiers, they don't like so well. So amplifiers can become hot very fast. Yes, so you must take care of the lowest impedance of drivers, but 4 ohms is now common for many constructors of speakers.
Yeah, and the most amplifiers can run that.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Well, we started with crystal, I think, in the other room.
Yes.
So now we see here the wall.
Yes.
So this is the
one of the biggest
evolution of the crystal. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. This is the 2023 model, the evolution, the third evolution. We had Carla in between,
okay.
Another model. This is the last one. The wall is a very simple shape,
yeah.
Just a square, a rectangular. But inside you have the push-pull, like the crystal. You have the nearly full-range driver, and the cone tweeter, the one we have also shown.
Yeah, everything what we showed in the company, in the factory, you see here back. So what surprised me, we had some lesson sessions here. It's completely free. Yeah, it's a big box.
It's a big box,
but you don't have the limitation of a big box because the sound is completely off the speaker.
It's different from all the other speakers of the Davis acoustic range. This is something quite unique. We start at 22,000 euro for the pair in the walnut version, and this is the most expensive because this is a very rare ebony, white ebony. So the price for this pair is 27,000 euro.
Well, I think if you have the good amplification, you have very good music in house. It's very nice to listen to, and in the time I was sitting here, there is no fatigue. It's
this is also very open sound. Yeah. This is what is important. We like to have something quite realistic, and it's impressive. It's like at the concert.
So. We just agreed that we try to get a wall in the Netherlands.
Yes, you'll have.
So customers can come over, dealers as well, to have a listening session in our showroom. And I fully believe that people will be impressed about the sound stage.
I hope so.
The overall sound quality. So don't worry, because it's beautiful sounding. And another surprise you gave us when we visit you is this speaker.
So this speaker is a prototype. Usually we don't show in advance the speakers. It's the prototypes that we will show in Munich for the next Hi-Fi show. in May 2025. So it's a three-way speaker. Also, as you can see, there is a curve, not a curve, a line, a little bit like the wall or the stage. So it will be in the same range of our catalog, the Heritage range. We don't have yet the name. We just know that we will produce that speaker with the dark walnut you can see here, but also in a light wood version, light oak version. So we don't. I don't want to say too much things about that speaker. It's a three-way, and you will have the possibility to listen to it. So in May in Munich.
What I can tell when we listen.
Of course, of course.
I was surprised about the total weight of the bass coming out of a speaker like this, but also the transparency. It's so open and detailed. It's you can hear it's family.
It's the family. The tweeter is similar with this one, not exactly the same, but it's the same family of tweeter. So a cone tweeter also, and there is also Kevlar and something else. It's the new product that you will be able to see in Munich.
So for that, I want to thank you for having us, and that we could have a look inside your factory. And well, we are impressed of how you make everything. And we even more impressed how everything sounds. In my opinion, is in the price ranges you deliver, you have always the same feeling of music. It's very lifelike, and it is very natural, and it's engaging. The only difference is if you go up in the lines, you hear more, and more. So chapeau, and thank you for having us.
Thank you, Cor. Thank you for coming. And I think that you have understood the philosophy of the company.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.